Tariq Cohen. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On second down, there's the option going left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
What you got? Huh? What you got? Huh?
Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Brashad Perriman, 96 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Now they'll run on the draw. And past the 35 will be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And Suckup will put this one right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Murray. And Callaway taking it in left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Hunt. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray going deep downfield for Ross. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. In for the score. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that... Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Oh, little 360. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throwing again. Murray. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
To throw on second down. Murray. And he floated one out there incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's third down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on first and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at third and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down in distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
from the gun on third down. Murray. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Back to throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Throwing on first down. Murray. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, Murray. Smith catches left side. And now running right through it. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
3-19! Detroit! Detroit! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Flash the power, but only able to get to the 10 with it. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final shot before break. Murray. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Murray completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Gone! 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 Gone!
From the gun, Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now back to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back to throw. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Fight two! Hey, we got to get this stop here, team.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Lindsey. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
When DeForest Buckner was at Oregon, for much of his career, the opposite defensive end from him was Eric Armstead. And everyone wondered about these 6'7" guys. Could they get the leverage? Could they get low enough to make plays in the run game? I think the question just got answered with that one. DeForest Buckner knows how to bend and shed blockers and get upfield.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Chargers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Cohen. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Murray, a look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage, taking off and throw it over your head.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Under 10.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Throwing, Bridgewater. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Go Delta. Go Delta.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Well, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Always got some breathing room. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Bridgewater here to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now, is it fourth down? No, it's third down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field. This kick to shatter the NFL record, a 69-yard attempt. Throwing here, Bridgewater. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Oh, this looks like a free play for Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples.